Hey guys, so I'm going to do a couple more solving multi-step equations. I just have a bunch of examples here that I'm going to go through and do so you can see the process and hear me say it over and over and over again. Okay, so if we take a look at number 13, whenever I'm solving for x, I like to find my equal sign and I put in my sides. And then because I might have to simplify, I want to look at each side on its own. So if I take a look at the left-hand side, I notice that I have like terms, so I can combine those. The 2x, actually, let's get a little color up in here. It doesn't have some color. The 2x and the negative 5x are like terms, so we can combine them up for a total of negative 3x. I drop down my 6 and I bring down the other side. Now there's nothing left to combine on the left-hand side, and there's nothing to simplify on the right-hand side. So at this point, we just want to start solving, and here's where our brain needs to switch over and start thinking, do the opposite, do the opposite, do the opposite. Okay, so now I do the opposite of what I see. Here I did exactly what I saw, 2x minus 5. Boom. Now I want to do the opposite, and we want to get rid of addition or subtraction first. So I'm going to get rid of this plus 6 by subtracting the 6. And then I'll simplify. So 6 and negative 6 is 0. And then we have our negative 3x. Bring down my equal sign. Negative 64 and negative 6 is negative 70. Then I go back to where x is, and I think get rid of, or do the opposite of what I see. So those two things are being multiplied. So I'm going to divide by negative 3 on both sides. So negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1. Put off with x. On this side, the negatives can divide out, so you're positive, but 3 doesn't go into 70, so I'm just going to leave this as 70 over 3. Feels like extra to go find the decimal. I don't really care about her. Okay, let's try another. Let's try this one right next to it, I guess. Put our sides in. On the left-hand side, I notice I have like terms, the 2x and the negative x, so I can combine those. So 2x and the negative 1x will be 1x. Then I bring down my plus 8, I bring down my negative 3, and I look again. Is there anything left to simplify on the left-hand side? And there sure isn't. There's nothing to simplify on the right-hand side, so now I just start solving. So now I want to think opposite, 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 get rid of, get rid of, get rid of. And over here with x, I need to get rid of plus 8. So I'll subtract 8, both sides. And we'll have x equals negative 3, negative 8 is negative 11. And x is all alone, so we're done. Okay, let's jump down. So taking a look at 17 right here, I'm going to put in my sides where my equal sign is. And then on the left-hand side, I notice I have a lot to do. On the right-hand side, I got nothing to do. It's just a 15, just chilling. Okay. So over here, I notice that I have parentheses, so I should distribute. So doing the distributive property means that I will now have 4 times 2, so 8x, plus 4 times 2 is 8. And I bring down my minus 17. I don't keep distributing because the parentheses ended there. Now back on the on the left-hand side rather, I notice that I do have some like terms, the positive 8 and the negative 17. So I can combine those. So positive 8, negative 17 is going to be negative 9. Bring down my equal sign, bring down my 15. And now there's nothing left to simplify over here. There's nothing left to simplify on the right-hand side, so now we just need to start solving, which means get rid of, get rid of, get rid of, do the opposite, do the opposite, do the opposite. So we first want to get rid of addition or subtraction, so I'm going to add the 9 as it's being subtracted. And we'll just have 8x over here. Bring down my equals, and 15 plus 9 is 24. And then we'll divide 8 both sides. So 8 divided by 8 is 1x. And then 24 divided by 8, that we can actually do, it's 3. X is all alone, so we're done. Okay, trying the one right next to it. If I put in my sides, I notice I have a lot to do on the left-hand side, nothing to really do on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, I notice I have parentheses, so I need to distribute. And truly what I'm distributing is not just a 3, it's a -3. So I'm going to bring that -6 down. We're going to do -3 times 2, which is -6x. And then -3 times 4 for -12. And I bring down my equal sign. Then I notice that I have some like terms because the -6 and -12 don't have x's, so we can combine them up. And we do exactly as it says, a -6 and a -12 will be a total of -18. Now my equal sign. Okay, so I have nothing left to combine over here. I have nothing left to distribute. So now it's time to start solving. And when we solve, we want to get rid of addition or subtraction first. So I'm going to add 18 to both sides. Bring down my -6x because that's 0. And then 18 and 18 is 36. And then divide -6 on both sides. So x is -6. Okay. Okay. Not doing that decimal. Gross. But I will do these two. So I put in my sides. And on the left-hand side, I notice I have a lot to do. I have to distribute. That 2 fit. Now, if you remember when we talked about the distributive property, when I have a fraction in front, I actually like to distribute the denominator and then distribute the numerator. So really this is saying divide by 5 times by 2. So I divide each of these things by 5, and 5 divided by 5 is 1. And 5 divided by 35 is 7. Sorry, this is so smushy. And I don't go here because the parentheses end. So I did the divide by 5 part. Now I need to times the 2. So 2 times 1x is 2x. And 2 times 7 is 14. I bring down my -8. I bring down my equals 12. That wasn't so bad. If you do it in 2 steps, I really think it's easier, especially if the denominator goes evenly into what you're distributing. Now I notice I have some like terms, this +14 and -8. And +14, -8 is 6. And I don't have anything left to do over here. Now it's time to undo. So I undo addition first, and I subtract 6 both sides. So 6, and I divide by 2 both sides, and x is 3. And then last but not least here, I'll do this one. So I'm going to put in my sides. And I notice on the left-hand side that I have some stuff to distribute. I'm going to take half of each of these things. So really I'm dividing each of them by 2 and timesing by 1. But timesing by 1 doesn't change anything. So I really just think of it as take half. So half of 12 is 6x. Half of 8 is -4. And I bring down my equal sign. Now on the left-hand side, nothing left to combine. We're done simplifying over there. So now it's time to start solving. And we want to undo subtraction first. So add the 4. So 6x equals 30. And then divide the 6 away. And x is 5. So hopefully seeing a couple more problems solved out, guys, is helpful. If not, hopefully you stopped this video already.